Hello, welcome to another edition of Up the Reds with me, Andy Canby. It is the international break. I'm bored absolutely out of my backside with that because we don't play until Saturday, half 12 kickoff against probably our biggest rivals now in the Premier League, which is Manchester City. I just wanted to talk about that in a few moments' time, but also on how our season's panned out. And some people are asking me, how far can we go from here? Um, Me, if um, if we just go on City's game before I touch on how our season's panned out. If we don't get a result against City on, i.e., we get beat, and Arsenal win, Tottenham win, and Villa win, we could end up in fifth place. Um, that is one of the scenarios that we face after next weekend's game. Going on the season then. My opinions, we're doing okay. New look squad, new players coming in, and they've bedded in really well. If you look at the results, the games that we have lost, we probably didn't deserve to win them games overall in whatever 95, 105 minutes, etc. But yeah, the season's fine. We're it's I think it's even surprised Jurgen and his coaches on how well the new players that have come in this season are doing. Like I say, they've really settled in well, and it's good to see players like Mo, Virgil, getting back to their old selves in a way. I think Virgil's last 2 or 3 games has been really good. Mo's record is absolutely fantastic. I know I didn't touch on his 200 Premier League goals that he's scored, but the only reason I didn't touch that was because out of the 200, two of those goals were for when he played for Chelsea, and we're not asked about Chelsea, but but we might be soon. So I'm not really bothered about that. Mo scored 198 goals for us. When he scores his 200, yeah, we'll be having a drink with him well, he doesn't drink, but we'll certainly raise a glass to him there. I mean, he's an absolute icon for the club. We won't probably appreciate him until about 5, 10 years time down the line when we're watching the reruns of the games that he's been influential to us, and we'd say what a signing he has been. He's really, really has. I mean, he's a winger, but his goal ratios and his assists are absolutely outstanding. The best goal scoring winger we've ever had. Don't forget he's played in Ronaldo and Messi era. But yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding for us. And also, don't forget, it had to be persuaded for Jurgen Klopp to take him. He wasn't convinced from the reports from the guys that he was having that, look, we should be getting him in our team. He will be the one that we're looking forward to supplying the ammo to the strikers and also chipping in with a few goals. So yeah, without Tim, how good it would have been for Jurgen and the rest of the team. But he's absolutely brilliant. So just going back onto the season, we can't really grumble where we are. We're second in the league, but it's very, very tight up there. As I've said, that we could end up being fifth if the results go against us over the weekend. The 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 performances have been hit and miss over the last 2 weeks as well. But I thought we found our mojo back against Brentford, so that was good to go. Just talking about looking ahead now, we've got 10 games in 28 days. That is massive. Obviously, we've got the City game, and then we have the Europa League game, Fulham, teams like that, Crystal Palace. Out of those, when I say 10 games, one of those games is the West Ham game in the Carling or Carabao Cup, as it's known. But yeah, we really haven't got some massive schedule in end of November, December. Those 10 games takes us up to Boxing Day, and out of those 10 games, 9 of those are televised. If you've got Prime, you'll get a couple of games on that. Crystal Palace is one of the games. There is another game there that I can't think of at the moment, but the others are on. Obviously, the Europa League games are all on TNT, and also we've got a few games on there on TNT, and then Sky have got a few as well. So for those of us who can't get to the ground, we're I think it's the only game that's not on televised is the 2 o'clock fixture against Fulham. So yeah, we'll see plenty of the Reds on our TV screens. I'm still trying to get tickets to go to a game. It is an absolute nightmare. I've now started to look elsewhere to try and get tickets. Hopefully, I'm going to be lucky enough I can try and get to a game before Christmas. I don't mind if it's a league game or a cup game, Europa League. I just want to get to Anfield now. I'm desperate to get there and soak up the atmosphere of watching this new team play this season. So let's talk about Manchester City then. Isn't it funny that they've got all these injuries? John Stones, Nathan Ake, who else is there? I think Gomez is coming back for them, is he? There's 2 others that have been injured as well. You've got Haaland pulled out of the Iceland squad. Now look, Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, when he plays us, the 2 games, or it could be 3 or 4 games, panding out the season, if we meet in the cup competitions, or maybe 5 games. Well, actually, it won't be because we're not in the Champions League and they're not in the Europa League. So Pep Guardiola, he looks at our games as cup final games. He's not really bothered about any other game. This is his biggest game in the Premier League. And you can imagine him saying to his players, any little niggles you're pulling out of the internationals. We've got players all over the world. I think our players, last game's the next Wednesday. It'll be Brazil. Ali's playing in that game, obviously, because City's goalkeeper cried off with a foot injury. He'll be back in the team. Haaland cried off with an ankle injury. He'll be back in the team. John Stones, he'll be back in the team. Nathan Ake, he'll be back in the team. So, this is all, call me a cynic, but I wish Jurgen Klopp would do that to our players and have that mentality. As soon as you got a little bit of a niggle. I know people are saying, well, Konate's not gone and Gravenberg's not gone because they're injured, but thing is, Holland don't want Gravenberg. Konate, yeah, he's got a hammy injury. We know Curtis Jones, he's not with the 21s, but that's by the by. But so swings and roundabouts. But if you look at Trent, missed the last international, but he didn't come back to us straight away. It was a couple of games before we got him back in. So all the big guns at City will be out against us because that's the way Pep plays it. That's the way City do things. We know, we know what's hanging over the club. I'll touch on that when I talk about the Ev. So yeah, it's going to be a massive game for us. I'm looking forward to it. I think City will be surprised by the way we play, and if you look at City's 4-4 draw against Chelsea, they're there to be got at this season. They're not. I mean, they've lost a couple of games, haven't they? Yeah, they're there to be got at this season with forward-thinking, front-attacking, constantly running at their back line, because it unsettles them massively, leaves gaps, and we should be trying to exploit that more than ever. I don't think we've done that in the past 2 seasons, well, maybe a season and a bit. So yeah, looking forward to the game, and we have to be going for the jugular, we have to be going for the 3 points. The early kickoff makes no sense at all. We've gone over this. It's always Liverpool, always Liverpool. You don't see any other teams, as many teams as us, getting these early kickoffs, because we're a global brand worldwide, and we're taking the money off the TV companies, and obviously negotiations for the next round are going to be around the corner soon. And I hope the clubs put the foot down and say, right, we want to sell the games to our own supporters, wherever they are in the world. And I've said to you, I don't mind paying £10 for a game, if that gets me to watch a game. Maybe all the games at Anfield, maybe probably not away from home, because there might be some clubs that don't want to get involved in that, but it should be a collective thing. I don't just speak for Liverpool fans, I speak for fans of all football teams in the Premier League. Not everybody can get a ticket to watch a game in the Premier League, and things have to change now, because it's becoming a bit stupid now that and it's legislation that apparently needs to change in Parliament. You can't show a 3:00 game in this country, and yet some 3:00 have been shown over the years. So yeah, that's that. So any other news? Well, the other news is our neighbours round the corner from us, Everton, being docked 10 points for malpractice of the financial rules. They've been, as I say, docked 10 points for that. Some Reds will not feel sorry for them, because they broke the rules and they've got caught and they've admitted it, and they've got the punishment. Is the punishment too much? 10 points. Really, this goes back to, they were investigated from over a year ago, from March onwards last year, and nothing was done at the end of the season, and clubs got relegated, because if they'd have done that due diligence and process of finding out all the facts and everything, Everton would have got relegated. Was it Southampton that would have stayed in the Premier League? Now, obviously, this season, Everton have been docked the points, but I find it very strange that why they weren't docked the points at the beginning of the season, and why it took till November to do that. And it might be a bit of sympathy from me towards the Ev, and if some of you know me, I'm not a great lover of the so-called People's Club. So just purely from a footballing point of view, nothing else. Okay. But this one here, it just doesn't sit right with this independent commission that's done that. it's a bit crazy. They should have done it last season. And, okay, yeah, Everton might have been a championship club then, by having those 10 points deducted. But, they're in the relegation zone now, and it's going to be a bit of a fight for them now. Every point matters to them now to stay in the Premier League. Just on that note as well, no news about Manchester City. 115 charges. People are up in arms about it, and the Premier League, the FA, have made little one-line statements saying you have to be patient with us. I'm not so sure what the patient is, especially for Manchester City, when they already lost one. Was it for the Champions League, European competition rules, and they got a fine instead of a ban. So, it's the club's owned by another country. You can look at what all the parameters are. The football club is owned by a country. When I say owned by the country, it's owned by the royal family of that country. So it just doesn't make any sense to me what the delay is. You know what they are. If Everton don't win their appeal, which the likelihood is they're not going to, because they've admitted what the circumstances were, and the independent commission have made their mind up. So, and then we go on to Chelsea. Chelsea's another club. So, how many points will Man City and Chelsea get deducted if on one misdemeanour that Everton have done? 30, 40, 50? I think the Premier League and the FA have made a rod for themselves. This is going to be epic, because the Premier League thinks it's the greatest global brand in the world. It probably is, but it's not the perfect global brand in the world. You've just got to look at the state of refereeing in this country at the top level. It's absolutely awful at the moment. Yes, VAR has a lot to do with it, but don't forget, the people who are making these decisions are qualified professional referees, whether they are on the middle of the park or they're watching the game in a dark room with about 6-8 TVs in front of them. I watched the disallowed Arsenal goal, and it was just constant. It was like going into a mothers' union meeting. Yap, 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 yap. I could not make head or sense out of whatever. And, it's just diabolical, and it's not going to get any better. It will not get any better. It will get worse. Some teams will get relegated, will get knocked out of competitions because of VAR, because of the interpretations of the rules. And I'm just going off tangent there. So yeah, just getting back onto the points deduction, etc. What's going to happen? When are we going to see it for Manchester City? When are we going to see it for Chelsea? Are we going to see it this season, or are the FA and the Premier League hiding behind some backhanders from the respective clubs, because it's becoming a bit of a joke now, and a bit of a laughing stock. The fans are up in arms about it. This is not an attack on Manchester City fans or Chelsea fans. This is an attack on the hierarchy, the people that are running your football club, and some fans who joined the bandwagon since the owners have taken over. In the case of Chelsea, Abramovich, And in the case of City, Sheikh Mohammed Monsoon or whatever he's called, it just doesn't look right for you guys, and you need to be speaking up about it, and see what what your club's going to end up being. You could. The worst scenario is you get a massive points deduction, a fine, relegation. But you are the supporters. So, like I say, some of you don't mind having these owners, but some others are. You fight the cause like you do as a true supporter should. You call a spade when things are not going right, just as much you would do if things are going wonderful for you. Okay, 21 minutes, not bad for me to talk. So yeah, I'm not going to do one again this week. This was just because I was absolutely bored. I've not watched any football at all, not even League One, League Two, Conference League or anything. I've just sort of like been going and listening to other people say other things. People have been interacting with me, and just wanting my opinions. Best way to do it is come on here and do that. So if you've liked this video, please give it a like, and please share this, okay? And if you've not already subscribed to Up the Reds, please do. You don't get any adverts on here, no breakages. I'm not here to make any money. I'm just here to talk about all things Liverpool, and on this occasion, some things not Liverpool, but it's just people are asking for my opinion, and at the end of the day, it's an opinion. Whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, let's have the discussion. You can always send me a comment after watching this, and we can discuss. Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, and have a boss week. Up the Reds.